The head of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities said that the two large mummification workshops dates back to 30th dynasty.
Step into the realm of ancient Egypt, where history intertwines with riddles and enigmas, and one name stands at the center of it all: Zahi Hawas. As a renowned Egyptologist and former minister of Antiquities, he is both revered and controversial, leaving us in suspense as we delve into the mysteries he guards. His claim of discovering Queen Nefertiti's elusive tomb has ignited a fervor of curiosity, yet confirmation remains elusive. Amidst accusations of corruption and clashes with fellow archaeologists, the true nature of Hawass's pursuits remains veiled. Let's reveal the secrets he holds that may reshape our understanding of ancient Egypt, but the answers lie just beyond our reach. When a new idea about ancient Egypt comes out, Hawass is often the first person to back it up or knock it down. By making big claims and putting down a lot of ideas, Hawass makes it sound like he lived in ancient Egypt and helped build it. Hawass has made a lot of amazing finds over the years. For example, he found the tomb of the people who built the pyramids in Giza and the Valley of the Golden Mummies in Bahariya. But he got the nickname, the real Indiana Jones, because he was in a lot of action-packed documentaries, it is said. One day, George Lucas came to Egypt to have dinner with me. He asked me why my hat became more famous than Harrison Ford's. I told him, my hat is the real archaeology hat, and Harrison Ford's is the fake one. Because of the movies I've made for the History and Discovery channels in the US, they call me Indiana Jones. Because of how I do action in history, he modestly explains about how he got his nickname around the world. Even though Indiana Jones isn't real, this is a bold claim, but it shouldn't be a surprise, since Hawass is often seen as the country's top expert on anything to do with ancient Egypt. Hawass is a famous scholar who has won an Emmy Award. Now he is focusing on his new show, Revealer of Secrets. Revealer of Secrets, which starts on October 20th, is unlike any other show about old Egypt. It not only busts online myths, but also looks at old traditions that are still practiced in Egypt today. Hawass says, the 6 episodes tell us how we can live in the present by copying the past. It's too bad that this show is in Arabic. I hope they can translate it so that people all over the world can learn from it. It's the first time that Egypt's past and present have been shown on TV. Hawass also eats with farmers and talks about how little has changed since the time of the pharaohs. He also uses this new stage to debunk some famous conspiracy theories. In one show, we tell people that what they've heard about red mercury isn't true. It's a story that doesn't happen. There is nothing that can be called red mercury in the mummy's throat, but people think that this red mercury lets them control the devil or heal anyone who is sick. The Ancient Egypt Mythbuster says, this TV show will look into these topics that have never been talked about before. It will be very important for educating Egyptians and people all over the world. Hawass has made debunking myths and beliefs his life's work, which is why he is quick to dismiss the ideas of virtually anyone who offers an explanation that is not supported by tangible evidence. Consider the work of Nicholas Reeves, who, in the previous year, sparked the interest of people all over the world when he suggested that Nefertiti's tomb might be concealed behind one of the walls that adorned the splendid tomb of King Tut. Reeves mentioned the name Nefertiti. If he had said anything else, no one would have paid attention to what he had to say. His entire body of evidence was flawed, including his assertion that the north wall features an eye shown as opening the mouth of Tutankhamun. He stated that, no, it's Nefertiti, but this is not the case. If that's Nefertiti, then why isn't her name listed anywhere? How will Nefertiti be buried in the Valley of the Kings if she worshipped Aten, and she lived so long ago? That is something that the priest of Amun would never permit her to undertake. The second significant point is this. How can you create a tomb and then build a wall around it such that the soul of the queen cannot pass through to the other side and enter the other world? We are unable to put an end to this discussion because Reeves may later claim, I was on the verge of a major discovery when the Egyptian government intervened. We will wait until this radar comes by, but in my professional opinion as a scientist, there is nothing behind the wall of Tutankhamun's tomb, reveals our expert on ancient Egypt. However, Hawass disagrees as he believes that the announcement of theories needs to be backed by concrete evidence, which is difficult, if not impossible, without launching an investigation. Some could argue that any publicity is good publicity and that renewed interest in ancient Egypt can only help boost tourism. Because of this, Russian radar will be used to either put an end to the controversy or keep it going, while shining light on whether or not Hawass's evaluations are accurate or needlessly dismissive. It's not the only hypothesis being researched in Egypt that Hawass thinks is wrong, but this one in particular is a blatant red herring. The Scan Pyramid project is currently underway and employs the most cutting-edge technology to scan the Great Pyramids to validate French architect Jean-Pierre Houdin's hypothesis that the pyramids were constructed utilizing both an interior and exterior ramp. On the other hand, Hawass thinks that the pyramids were built utilizing only an exterior ramp. The interior ramp came from a French guy who knows nothing because there was no evidence, Hawass said. Please provide one piece of proof to back up your claim. The majority of the work that's being done on the Scanning Pyramid project is being done to corroborate his theory, since they claim that there's an abnormality in the northeast. And that peculiarity, which in their view might be the ramp, is not in the least. Anytime we announce scientific research conducted inside the Great Pyramid, we need to use extreme caution. And this is why I am leading a team, and with me are 3 foreigners whose expertise is on the pyramids, and together we are correcting them till we have something substantial that we can declare to the whole world. There is absolutely nothing wrong with conducting research before revealing any new finds. Nevertheless, as our chat progressed, I couldn't help but wonder whether or not Hawass is subjected to the same kind of scrutiny each time he offers an idea to initiate an exploratory excavation. Although he criticizes these beliefs, it is his opinions on the old extraterrestrial hypotheses that cause him to receive hate mail daily from people all over the world. The people who believe in this kind of thing used to debate me all the time, and they used to say, Zahi Hawas is lying. He's hiding all the secrets that prove pyramids were built by aliens, Hawass said. The people who believe in this kind of thing used to say that. I was requested to participate in an interview for a television show in Los Angeles that was discussing aliens, and I responded by telling the person who asked me to wait until the show was over because if I came, I would complete it. People who discuss this topic are in reality engaged in this activity for profit in some capacity, while others among them are complete morons. I receive at least one rude email every day from individuals who believe that I'm covering up proof of an ancient civilization. But you need to be aware that even if there is something negative in Egypt, those New Age individuals will still flock there regardless. I conceded that there is more evidence to suggest that the pyramids were built by Egyptians and not by aliens. However, I insisted that if these tourists are resilient and visit despite the cycle of negative headlines, then perhaps Egypt would benefit from creating merchandise and tours that are tailored towards the believers. Egypt may try to persuade them to change their beliefs, but in the end, we need their bucks, and we shouldn't care what they think as long as they come and support the economy. Egypt may even try to persuade them to alter their beliefs. Even though these ideas have the potential to entice travelers, Hawass proposes an alternative strategy to boost tourism and explains that not just any tourist will be able to assist Egypt in overcoming its current economic challenges. In the first place, you ought to start shipping exhibitions all over the world right now. People talk about Egypt more when they visit exhibits, which means more tourists will come to Egypt. The second significant point is that you, as the Minister of Tourism, should arrange for members of Egyptian tourism and hotels to travel to each country, as people in those countries would be thrilled to hear directly from Egyptians that Egypt is a secure place, as this is the case. Every archaeological site is afforded the highest level of protection. If you do not come to visit right now, you'll see that the Antiquities have completely degraded, which brings me to the second crucial issue that I share with the public. You do not consider traveling to Russia as an option since you believe it to be an expensive option. You can't ignore the Chinese, the Japanese, or the Americans in this industry. We need not the numbers, we need the people who really can increase our economy by paying, not by coming to Egypt for 500 euros and staying for 10 days, as Hawass's unwavering belief. His proposal, which was successful during his time as Minister of Antiquities, has the potential to revive Egypt's faltering tourism industry. On the other hand, given that the business is currently at an all-time low, any tourist should be welcomed and not disregarded. The severely delayed launch of the Grand Museum in the shadow of the pyramids is the focus of everyone's attention right now because of its potential impact on tourism over the long term. Japan provided Egypt with the funds necessary to complete the project earlier this year. Nevertheless, we find that Hawass does not agree with the plan to open the museum, which has been delayed for an inordinate amount of time. I had hoped to make this available to the general public in 2015, but given the current state of affairs, I anticipate that it will take some more time. When I heard about the two significant things that were taking place, I was overjoyed. The first is that we will receive $420 million from Japan, in addition to the $100 million that the Egyptian government has already paid. The second piece of significant positive news is that a museum cannot serve as an official government institution. It'll be challenging for you to select a choice that will lead to improvements at the museum. They have an ambitious goal of opening the King Tut Gallery in only 1 year, which is simply not conceivable. It is my sincere hope that we will be able to wait until the museum is finished in its entirety before opening it on November 4th, 2022, which will mark 100 years since the discovery of Tutankhamun. We need to do something for this celebration every year till the 5th year comes, which will be 100 years, and that celebration may be held anywhere, because the discovery of Tutankhamun is the discovery of the whole world. It is a magnificent and grand idea to time the opening with the 100th anniversary of the discovery of King Tut's tomb, but the project has been delayed innumerable times, and anything can happen in Egypt in the next years. The question that needs to be answered is whether or not Egypt can afford to wait, or whether it can wait at all. In Egypt, some people think of Hawass as a stigmatized person, much like the majority of people who worked under the Mubarak government and are thought to be corrupt solely because of their association with Mubarak. The reality is that Hawass is a significant personality on the worldwide stage who continues to give lectures all around the world. As a result of his innumerable discoveries, he continues to draw tourists and inspire people from all over the world to learn more about Egypt's ancient roots. Having said that, if the theories that are now being researched prove to be false, it'll change Hawass's reputation into that of the world's leading authority on ancient Egypt, possibly earning him a new nickname as Ancient Egypt's Mythbuster. This will cement Hawass's position as the world's leading authority on ancient Egypt. But on the other hand, if either the Nefertiti theory or the inner ramp theory turns out to be correct, then Hawass will be seen by many as an obstructionist naysayer who needlessly rejects the theories of outsiders. It takes a lot of gravitas to be outspoken on speculations before investigations have been concluded, but if anyone's earned the right to be that person, it's the genuine Indiana Jones. Whether or not he was the real Indiana Jones, he is a legendary archaeologist. And that's all for our video today. Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.